Hi, as most of you know, I'm John, and I'm going to be leading you through some important points in approving timesheets on the OnePoint system. First of all, I want to thank you all for the effort you've put so far into kind of getting this system going. If we give it some time, we work with it a little bit, I can assure you from what I've seen that it's a much better system than what we've had in the past. And we'll have more information available for employees and it'll be easier to use, really. I wanted to send you this video because I wanted to give you a different approach to learning some of the steps in the approval process for OnePoint. But we will be doing more videos in the future so that we can you can have a chance to kind of see how things work instead of just reading something that's been written. For those of you that like to read things, though, we have an attachment to an email that was sent out that does include the same training, the same points that we're pointing out in the video will be in a written format and with screenshots. So look for that email. Marlena put it together as far as the screenshots and the instructions, and that can help as well. I want to apologize in advance for the video. They will get better. This is my first effort in doing this, and so as I learn how to do this better, we will improve these videos over time. So hang in there, watch the video, and hopefully you'll learn something from it. Hi. We're going to talk about approving time in this training session, and it's important to remember a few things about approving time. Number one, there are different ways to approve time and to approve time sheets in OnePoint. And then number two, I had previously mentioned that employees would be required to submit timesheets before supervisors approve those timesheets. Well, apparently that can't be done, we found out. So employees will no longer be required to actually perform the step called submit timesheets. They will just simply enter their time, and then as we go through the payroll period, the supervisor should be approving their time so that at the end of the payroll period, most of the time has already been approved. And that's the standard for our company. So if you have any questions about that, please contact me and we can definitely discuss it. In this session, we're going to look at how to approve time and view time entries that are unapproved. So we go to Manage Timesheets, go to Approve Time Entries, and you'll see that you get a report that lists all the unapproved time entries for all your employees. And there's a number of columns that are available in this report. What we're going to do is try to limit that report, kind of subtotal it in a way that'll be easier to read. So first thing we're going to do is change the payroll period, and make sure you have the correct payroll period. Look to the right, and you can change the payroll periods with those little arrows to the right or to the left. So make sure you're in the correct pay period. Look to the right there and see. Then what you can do after you've made sure you're in the correct payroll period is make sure you have, I would say, probably 100 rows displayed because it's really easier to see more rows than what you really need. The next thing you want to do is look at the columns, and you want to make sure that there's a couple of columns. One is by last name. If you click that little G at the very top of the column, the system will group all your entries by last name, and so then you can see totals per employee as you look at your report for that payroll period. But the next thing we're going to do to make it even easier to look at is we're going to also, in addition to subtotaling or grouping by last name, we're going to also group by date. So by clicking that little tiny G right next to the word date at the top of your column, we can also group it by date as well, and what that will do is give us totals by date per employee, and that's going to be really helpful in approving time. So if you do that, you'll be able to go down and view each day for each employee and approve that time. So you want to check off the box in the far left next to the date to approve the entire date. If you need to make once you've checked those boxes off, you can go ahead and click the Approve button, and then that's going to approve those particular entries that you've checked. Also, as you look down your report, in the columns, for instance, there are some columns you may not need, like department. You can use the little X key button right there, the little X, to hide those particular columns that you don't really need. Maybe you don't want to see the department or the area. You can simply hide them by clicking the X. You're not eliminating them, you're just hiding them, so you can bring them back later if you need to. As we look down the report, there's also, you'll see any time off besides regular work time. You'll notice there, if you need to make a change to that, you can click the Edit Timesheet icon and go in and actually edit the actual timesheet and change that. This would be true for times as well, if you need to change a time for some reason that somebody has in there. And whenever you make a change to anything in the timesheet, make sure you add notes. The little memo pad with a pencil, whenever you see that, you can add notes to the timesheet. So we're back to our report, and again, you can click a particular day and then approve that day, so that that particular day has been completed and approved. Once you've made changes to your report, click the gear and hammer icon and click Save Settings, and then you can change the name of, you can save it under a particular name, that specific report. And you can also, in addition to changing the name, you can also save it as a default, so that every time you click that option, that report will show up. Save that, and that will be your default. You can also save other forms of the same report by using the Save As button, and that will save it for future reference. So now if we go back to the home or the dashboard and try to access that report again under Manage Timesheets, now you'll see that it's been saved the way we had already, after the changes that we'd already made. So it has the subtotal by employee and by date automatically. And also we don't have those columns that we had before. You'll notice the groupings up above that indicate which way, how the report is grouped by employee and by date. Thanks for bearing with us in this first video session. As I mentioned earlier, we will get better. So make sure and let Marlena and I know if you have any questions at all, and we'll try to get through this. Our first payroll is coming up. We're excited about that with this new system. And so again, bear with us, be patient, and things should be running smoothly. Thank you.